Yes, people, welcome to the Raw Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Usual two, Tobias and Shaq. All right. Ten Hag, Tobias. I know you're the Man United man. The minority is saying that Ten Hag needs to stay. We had a debate a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about, I was saying you have no pattern of play. You told me you do have a pattern of play. It's time's up now, man. Like, forget the players. Just talk about what he's doing at Man United. I know it's a collective, but we've got to talk about him because that's what it comes down to. The buck stops with the manager. Bro, I've been saying this for 2 years now. That motherfucker's trash. He's trash. He's a trash manager. He's trash. Like, there's nothing good about him. He's trash. You've got to come to the conclusion that he's done. I'm a Liverpool supporter. I hope he stays. Give him a new deal because you lot are not a threat with that guy around.
You know what? Yeah, Groundhog Day, bro. Like, I think, yeah. How many times have we been talking about Ten Hag, which is a problem anyway in itself.
That's what I'm saying.
So I take it you don't want to talk about the game. You solely want to talk about Ten Hag.
Bro, we don't need to talk about the game. We know what the game was. I knew this was going to happen. Yeah. I knew they were going to win. I knew they were going to dominate the game. You were going to play counter-attack. You got their excuse. I know you haven't gave it, but Man United have come with this excuse that Bruno got sent off. Bro, you didn't have a shot on target until the 76th minute, bro.
No, I'm not gonna. I was never gonna blame the sending off.
Bro, you got battered for. You had about a 10-minute spell in the first half, and that was it.
Whether or not I think it was the sending off is irrelevant. That's a different story. But nah, from start to finish, you know what it is with it. I think my main frustration is it's hard to say that Tottenham were that good, or were we actually that bad? Which I said against you lot. And we made it seems like at the minute with this team, it seems like playing in front of at Old Trafford in front of the crowd is a major struggle for them, and that's a major problem within itself. I've never seen so many turnovers in all my life, and it's lucky we had someone like Timo Werner ended up with majority of the chances. Otherwise, it would have been a problem.
But bro, the manager sets it up. The manager sets this team up. The manager
He does.
Like, there's no excuses now with him. He's got all the players are on the pitch are his players. All the players that were injured last year are all fit now. You've only got one player that's injured, and that's Luke Shaw. You've got everybody back. He was screaming about when everybody's fit and I have my players, you'll see a different Man United. We're seeing a worse Man United when everybody's back. It's the worst. It's mostly the worst Man United team I've seen in a sense of the way they play. Worse than under Oli, worse under the Moyes, under all the managers. I think this is the worst Man United team. You look at the players you've got, they're bang average. I'm not even going to cuss about people like a guy because I'm used to give these guys a chance. But the players that he is bringing, they've all been dud, bar Martinez. And that's just, to be the best of a bad bunch, bro.
Well, you can't say anything about Mazwari, Dillit, Edgarte at the minute. Really, that's Euro. You can't talk about them.
No, you're right. I'm not going to talk about them, but they're his signings, and you expect to be a bigger difference. And I do think they're better. I do think Dillit's better than Maguire, but you would expect the standards to raise. It feels like I said. Remember, I said to you, it could be you could bring in Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Jude Bellingham. The same things will apply. These man will just turn into Space Jammed. They'll just be Space Jammed under Ten Hag. It don't matter who comes in. And that's what I'm saying. The common denominator for me is the manager because you've got some okay players and they are playing like real duds right now.
Oh, they're playing bad. There's no doubt about it. Like I've said many a times when Ten Hag gets it wrong, I'll be the first to say he got it wrong. And recently I've been saying it a lot, that he's got it wrong, which is a problem. So I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it, with calling it out. But I also believe, no excuses for Ten Hag. He's in his third season. I'm going to say no excuses, but the things I'm going to say is going to sound like excuses. You know, and I swear to God, like this is where you know what it is, yeah. I hope his missus defends him as much as I do, yeah. Because
mate, flipping heck. The two people in Man United you defend to the flipping hill. 3 people is Martial, De Gea, and Ten Hag. These guys can't do nothing wrong in your eyes. You know, like that special child you lot have or cousin who can't do nothing wrong. Flipping heck.
What can I say? No, it's a hard thing to get these days, man. But nah, man. With Ten Hag, you know what? Yeah, I do. What I will say is that I believe in a way, like Ineos, Glazers, whoever it is at the minute, sort of have a free hit, yeah, because they semi-set him up to foul. And why I say it is, yeah, the 2 signings I got in early was Leny Yoro and Ugarte, yeah. No, you can. That's fine. Like,
no, I'm listening.
No, that's fine. He got in who? He got in Leny Yoro, Xerxes, right? You said, I remember on the show, you said when we were speaking about the Leny Yoro situation, you just agreed to deal with Ugarte, you just agreed terms. Same with De Ligt, we agreed terms very early on. We shouldn't be getting until start of the season before we sign these players, irrespective. So now you've got the core of the team, the Gartes, Mazwaris, and De Ligt. Let's be honest, they shouldn't even, with the state of the preseason that or they have or haven't had, they shouldn't really be starting the games. But how it is that they've been thrown into the Lions' Den, and the Lions' Den is horrible right now. The atmosphere around the place is horrible, and you can see you can see when they play at home, the touches. As soon as there's sort of any bit of what do I say? Any bit of sort of pullback from them, it's you just see them melt instantly, which is a problem. So where I'm going to say Ten Hag gets it wrong is that you called it some time ago, is that he's laid his hat on Rashford, and Rashford will end up getting in the sack. He's persisted with someone like Rashford, and I'm going to call out Bruno at the same time. As good as Bruno's been for us, like there's got to be a point when these players aren't playing well that they get dropped, right? So if I look at Diallo, I just feel like, and this is where I'm going to call out Ten Hag. Diallo's an easy drop. He's an easy one, isn't he? He's an easy target. We've all played football where there's always that player that's easy to drop. At the minute, it's Diallo. Diallo's arguably been our best player since the end of last season up until now. Has he been firing on all cylinders last couple of games? No, but you allow that because the team isn't. So for him to get dropped so easily is a problem. Casemiro, can say Casemiro's been, he was against you, he was absolutely shocking. But Bruno's been just as bad in recent games. The amount of times he gives the ball away, and look, the amount of goals we concede by turnovers when we're in possession and meant to have control of the game is criminal. Like we can argue about Ten Hag all you like, but the players themselves have to take some sort of ownership. It seems that at the minute the club's too big for them. I'm not saying that Ten Hag's faultless. What I'm saying is that right now I feel like he's been set up in a way to fail. With these players being unfit, the signings that he wants to play, he hasn't had a left back. Own fault, should have signed a left back. Dalot gave away 2 goals yesterday. Van de Ven should never been able to run through the whole team. But to put the ball back post, where's Dalot? Not there. Second half, 2 minutes. No, second half, after sending off, we got 10 men. Dalot's in the left wing position, chasing down the right back. For what purpose? 1 ball, done, finished. You can't...
Bro, this is the way you lot have set up, bro. It comes back to the manager. Like you're saying about these players, it's come back to the manager. He out of all the managers since Ferguson, he had the biggest free hit. He could have done anything and the fans would have backed him. He could have listen, Mourinho came out 2 weeks ago and said, there's 3 or 4 players in this team right now I tried to get rid of and they're still here. Anyone could have seen you should have got rid of Rashford. You should have got rid of these players. He kept on playing. The arrogance of him kept playing these players And these guys are going to get you the sack. And he hasn't seen the previous managers get the sack because of these players. And he could have got rid of all of them. And the fans would have been on his side. But he kept them.
You
And
say
he's
that
bringing his players in, and none of them have hit the ground like really running. You know what? He's been excellent.
Okay. You say that he's had a free hit. If we because the easiest comparison is Arteta, isn't it? Arteta had the freedom to get rid of whatever players he wanted, regardless of who they were. He didn't want Maguire from the get-go. He still got Maguire. So as easy as you say that it is to get rid of a player, why did Man United get rid of him? Why have Man United? So that's Ten Hag.
They had chances to get rid of him. They had chances to get rid of him.
He refused to go because of the money he was on. Yeah, right. He could have went West Ham, all the rest of it. When Arteta was doing what he was doing, free transfers were given everywhere. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. He hasn't been afforded that luxury.
But he's spent over. He spent over £600 million on players. That's what I'm saying. He spent over 600 and still has no style of play, Tobias. So you can say all of that.
To be honest with you, we can say he hasn't got a style of play, but if you look at the players that are trying to pass the ball, they can't even pass the ball 5 yards. So how do you implement the style of play with players that can't pass the ball?
So you're telling me, that this Tottenham player for player, Tottenham are much better.
I don't believe that, no. But what I'm saying.
So what's the difference then?
I just told you the difference from the start.
The managers.
He's got players starting right now in key positions that are not fit. They're not even up to. They're nowhere near it.
But bro, forget that. I'm talking about. Let's talk about a style of football and identity. If you're going for play, even take out all the new players. Take out all the new players out the team, and you could put the previous players in. Comparing them to Tottenham, it's not that much different player for player wise. But you can see there's two different worlds, the two teams. One has an identity and one just does a madness.
One's identity and one's confidence and another's togetherness. Obviously, it's everything that we're lacking at the minute. So that's another argument within itself. I'm not saying that.
But who does it come down? But bro, who does it come down to though? That's what I'm saying.
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't believe it solely comes down to Ten Hag. Ten Hag, in essence, is going to end up digging his own grave, isn't it? He keeps making the same mistakes. He's going to be done for him. Like he's got. You're looking at. He's got Porto. He's got Villa. Then after the international break, he's got Brentford.
Bro, I think he's got 2 games. He's got 2 games regardless, win, lose or draw. He's done. To me, he's done. I think he's done. I think you see Graham Potter. You see Graham Potter on Monday Night Football. I think they're talking to him or Southgate, them type of man there. I know you don't want it, but that's what I can see happening. I just don't see any sort of progression there. But like I said, maybe I don't know what's going behind the scenes. Maybe they spoke to managers and managers have said, if I take this job, Bruno's got to go, Rashford's got to go, Luke Shaw's got to go, Maguire's got to go. Before I step in the door, them man have got to go. I don't know how you get rid of them. They need to go. That's what I'm saying. So they're saying, well, we can't because we gave him a new contract. The manager said, all right, cool. I'm not signing. I'm not signing for you guys because they're not getting me the sack because they got everybody else the sack.
No, I don't believe that to be the issue. They went with what they went with. Obviously, the payoff's a slight issue. I don't think, to be fair, looking at it, if you look at, let's say, Arteta's first 2 seasons. No, if you're listening,
I'll listen.
Arteta's first 2 seasons, he lost 13 games each season.
But each year, they were getting better and better.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. After the third year, they got Champions League. The fourth year, they're fighting for the title. This year, they're fighting for the title.
Well, if we look at the examples that I just given in terms of his key players that he's using at the minute, are all come when they did in the transfer window. You're asking borderline the impossible. You're asking Xerxes, Meswari, De Ligt, Ugarte to come from different leagues to not have a pre-season to just click straight away. That's madness.
Tobias, I'm not even. That's madness. And like I said, I'm not talking about.
So you're talking about the players.
I'm not talking about them players. I'm talking about him implementing a style. You don't have to have new players to implement a style. Even if you're losing, you can go, okay, I can see what you're doing. To me, you're the only one who can see what they're doing, because every time I watch them, bro, I don't see what you're trying to do. You don't have to have good players to implement a style. You don't have to. Even if the style's bad, I just look at you and I think, what are you, man, trying to do? You're just putting anybody in any position, and they're just playing turnovers and counterattack, and then you try to play. Then
I don't think he's putting anyone in any position. I don't think that's what he's trying to do. Like that's not what he's trying to do. What he's trying to do is not being implemented by those on the pitch. There's an argument to say that yes, a lot of them are his new players, but I just put the argument across that you got 4 starters there yesterday now, that had no prep with any of the squad. So you're asking these 4 players to come in and hit the ground running. Clearly, with a confidence issue that we clearly have, and we knew that all it was going to take was one loss for it to kick off, and then it was a spiral, and that's what it seemed to. That's what's happened. So whether or not, again, I'm still not as hard as what the brother's doing it for me. You can't argue the facts, and I hear it all. The losses,
bro, he's breaking records after records.
He's breaking records after records. The manner of the losses in themselves.
The records are bad.
Man. They're bad, and it's bad to watch.
Bro, you scored 1 goal all season at Old
Trafford.
Trafford.
How I've been here after all these defeats, and how I haven't broke my laptop by now, my TV, or just gone wild at these times watching these games. Yeah, when the group chat's popping off. Yeah, I'm losing my head. I swear to God, I'm losing my head. Like, this is it's getting me mad, bro. Like, I'm suffering right now. So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm suffering badly. Like, it's a real suffer. And I went into yesterday's game thinking, we're going to win this game. It's either I'm mad, yeah.
You're mad.
I've got blind faith, yeah. But I thought, when going into that, even when we was 1-0 down, I thought, we'll win this game. I swear to God.
After 10 minutes, I was like, this game's over.
That was my thought process. You know what?
That's a real fan still. That's a real fan.
Win this game.
Fair play to you.
We'll win this game. And I don't. And to be fair, yeah, a lot of the time I'm not like that at all, really, when it comes to the games. But I don't know why I had this unwavered confidence yesterday. Yeah? It was crazy. Even after we was getting battered, popped off the pitch, I was looking at it like, yeah, no, we're calm. But as soon as Bruno went, I was like, we might get a draw.
Wow. When I saw Van de Ven run through like Inter Milan R9, I was like, you man are shit, bro. It's done.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man just blew past everybody. Like, I was watching R9 98 World Cup. I was like, you know what? No, you man are dead. But
like, yeah, you look at it yesterday, it's hard. It's a hard watch, man. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, I'm gonna take out your misery. Tobias, all right, one word. What would you still do? Ten Hag in or out?
Listen,
one word.
For what I've just said about the whole player situation, how they come in, I ain't gonna say Ten Hag out now, because for me, what would be the point? I understand these failures. I understand more than anyone the pain that everyone's going through. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe like I haven't, but I'm not. I think I've given everyone a reasonable chance, even down to Ollie, even though I didn't want him. I was still giving him a reasonable chance. But I think taking all into account, and that's the only savor I'm giving him, is that he was still set up with the way the transfers were conducted. It was the way we started off the transfer window to the way we ended it was just criminal for me, and that's why I'm allowing him sort of, yeah, giving him that little space. But time will tell, isn't it? How many games can he continue to lose? How many times can teams turn up to Old Trafford and beat us to a pulp, like what's been happening? Games are coming thick and fast. It's unrelenting, and maybe that's a positive. He definitely needs to pick up a couple of wins before the international break. It's definitely political for him, but it doesn't give you when you go into these games now and you're looking at the Portos and the Villas and the way, it's not a comfortable scenario. The way they are, confidence is going to be definitely low. There's no fight in that team, like at all. There's not 1 ounce. I was looking through the team yesterday, and obviously, De Ligt's new. So how much influence is he going to have, or impact is he going to have? But you looked against about all the other players within the team. There's a distinct lack of leaders, like all over the pitch, like all over the pitch. It was apparent. And
I hear you, man. I hear you, but it's, to me, it's peak for him, man. I think he's done.
It's definitely.
I think he's done. I've never seen so many empty seats after 10-15 minutes left ever.
Yeah,
I think the fans have resigned themselves. Like, it's done.
I don't think so, though. I don't think so. I think obviously the problem with us now, is that our fan base is very much how Arsenal's fan base was years ago. It's like the division is starting, the cracks are starting. Yeah, you're going to start seeing ruckuses in the crowd very soon.
Bro, I tell you, the difference is, and you talked about, the bad apples, and he did get the bad apples or the bad eggs out of the club. Your bad eggs are on big contracts. They ain't going nowhere. Yeah. That's the difference. But guys,
he's had that to deal with.
I hear you. I don't want to go too over, but guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Tobias, last word, Ten Hag in.
Ten Hag in, bruv.
I love it. Ten Hag in. I'm in with you. Ten Hag bloody in. I want that guy in
next week.
In forever.
You're gonna have the same title up on the thing. Ten Hag out. He's got to go. You're just waiting for me. Yeah? You're just waiting for the time that I say it. That's what you're doing. It's like you're constantly prodding, to get out of me.
Ten Hag in.
I hope you don't come.